I sent a message too.
Bryant's Family Medicine All Sports Media presents the Wednesday Sliders. I'm Edward Hall, along with Mark Gregory. Mark, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there, a little tired, a little under the weather, but I'm a fighter. I'll get through it.
Well, I got to cover some real good games, this past week. I got to see, I'm going to say a historical moment the other day, which I'll be going over a little bit later in the show. But, you know, what's your plans for the remaining part of the week?
Well, I think the weather's going to launch in on us here during the end of the week. I've not got the whole weather report, but I think they're giving a little bit of rain here toward the end of the week. But hopefully Friday, I'm going to take a trip to South Floral, I believe, and cover the North Floral South Floral game Friday night at South. I believe that'd be an absolute war, and two teams that are playing really good baseball this early in the season. It's a test for both teams on maybe who's the top dog in the county over there.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that being a good one. Instant classic, if you would say.
Yeah.
Especially going against your you know crosstown rival. That's bragging rights. And we just actually had our first live stream game, which was Jackson County against Harlan County. And other than a few little kinks we had to work out throughout the show, I think it went pretty good. And I've loved being up there. The Harlan County fans and everything up there. Treated us real good. But I'm looking forward to, as long as the rain holds off, this weather coming in for what we got in store for this weekend.
Yeah, and I guess you'll probably talk a little bit about that later on in the show. I won't let the cat out of the bag on that, but talking about our broadcast, Edward, you just spoke of it. Cannot say enough about the Harlan County folks and the way we was treated up there, and of course, we got up there and probably 9% of our plan like crashed and burnt or crashed or just nothing went right for us there at the beginning. The camera kaputted on us. We actually had really good internet. The internet, what we was more worried about the internet going up there, but the internet was fine. That wasn't the issue. But the camera just kaputted on us, and you come through with the cell phone trick, but we've had to do that a few times. And of course, I forgot a gizmo that we had just purchased that would have made the picture a whole lot more better by using the cell phone. But um, all in all, it worked out. It worked out really good.
We just got our first comment, and I'm about positive I know who it's from, but it says live stream very soon in the Ville, and that's something that's in the works to be done very soon. And but I'm looking forward to what we're going to be doing in the future, and I'm actually going to be talking a little bit about one of these individuals that just commented right here in a few minutes.
Yeah. I like I like the uniforms, Bill. But as long as it ain't red and black, we'll take them pineapple colors. Let's not make it look too much like Louisville Cardinals or anything.
All right. Well, Mark, we're going to go ahead and bring on our first two guests here.
Hi.
How
Hey,
y'all doing?
we're good.
I'm
How about
good.
you?
Well, first off, I want to thank you for agreeing to come on the show.
Yes, thanks for having us.
So, I like to throw some graphs together, but I do one stat wise and one is just one I like to get y'all's thoughts on. But on the first one here, this one does have a little bit of stats broke down individually. And let's see. So right now you're batting at a .444 average. You got 6 RBIs, 8 stolen bases, 17 strikeouts, 2.84 ERA, and if I'm not mistaken, you did just get a home run
Yeah,
this
I
season,
did.
right?
Yeah.
So tell me what all goes in to be able to perform like that, and that right there is just stats on 5 games that it was giving me stats for so far.
Well, I always just trust God, and I try to be smart on the base pads and just be a smart. As I'm a pitcher, I try to work my best when I'm up at bat and be confident.
And this one right here is for you, Allie.
All right. Mm.
So you're at a .393 average, 6 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, 22 strikeouts, 2.95 ERA, and 11 hits. So I'm gonna ask you the same exact question. What do you have to do to be able to perform on a level like that?
I've just always, like Brinkley said, trusted God. I know that He has a plan for me, or I wouldn't still be even playing the sport. I just go out there and I give it 110% because I'm going to play college basketball. So this is my last season with softball. So I give it my all and I just put all my heart into it because you never know it could be your last game.
So you actually just led me into one of my other questions because I had seen where you all both play other sports.
Yes.
So give me y'all's thoughts. Being able to have to jump from one sport straight to the other one. How difficult is that transitioning from one sport to straight to the other one?
I know that I also play soccer in the fall. So I go straight from soccer to basketball and then from basketball to softball. And me and Brinkley this year, we were having basketball practice and games. And then whenever we got a day off from basketball, we were going to softball practice. And I know that Brinkley has been doing the same thing as far as going to lessons and just staying on it and making sure that we can be the best for our team while playing other sports.
It definitely keeps us in shape.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say if I was having to do all that right now, there's no way I could physically do that without an oxygen tank. But so with all those sports, because I heard you saying that you was doing practice for basketball and practice for softball at the same time. Does that like get you like a little bit? What's the word I'm looking for? I guess confused between the practices, or do they have them like offset throughout the year?
Well, our we got a new coach this year for softball, and he's very organized, and he's also the boys basketball coach. So he was trying to work around our schedule and still be able to practice with his boys, but also have us there because he knew that we would need to be there and learn new stuff. Having a new coach, there's so much new things to learn. But then if there was days we couldn't, we would just try to go do stuff on our own.
Yeah, we played softball our whole life, and our coach is really prepared, and our team is really mature and comes out there ready every practice, every game, ready to win. So,
Well, Mark, before I asked all the questions, I'll let you ask a few there.
Um, um, of course, we cover a lot of 13 for each, and just Allie or Brinkley or both take turns if you just want to. Just tell us a little bit about Claiborne County for the folks that don't know a whole lot about your school.
Brinkley, do you want to go ahead and
no, you go first.
Okay. As far as Claiborne County, I love being here. I like just the fact that it's all like everybody knows everybody, but so which also helps you if you do want to go play at the next level. There's always somebody you can talk to or somebody that knows somebody from somewhere else. And I just like that where everybody does know everybody. When we play other schools, it is competitive, and whenever you're in the game, you do not like the other team. But then after, like we go take pictures with them, we talk to them, we hang out with them after, and I love that aspect of it because yes, I'm out there to win, but I love just having friends and people that I can talk to, and just that's my favorite part personally.
I transferred from our rival school last year, and I love Claiborne. It has been a blessing to me. It has been just the best thing, the best choice I could have had. I've made so many friends through both sports, and I love it. It's a great place.
Well, educate me because I always need a good education. But like here in our region, we can, you being from Tennessee, we can look up like KHSAA and get rosters, coaches, scores. I mean, everything in the world. If you're looking up for a Tennessee roster, what's the best thing to go look at?
Max Preps,
Max Press.
Huddle, those are all good.
Okay.
Max Preps is probably the one I would do. Sometimes Huddle they get behind, or like where we've had, especially for basketball, where we've had so many different coaches because we've had my 4 years I've been there, so not everything gets posted. So Max Preps is probably the best I would say.
Well, I gotta ask you, I hit the hard hitting questions. They were shies away from them, but I believe I saw you on Saturday. I don't know who it was. I'm not accusing you, but they was playing some good music at Harlan County, and I saw a couple of you in the stands. Getting your groove on. Could you snitch on who was the one sitting there doing the boogie?
It was
Probably
definitely me, Allie.
yeah,
It was
it was
definitely us.
probably us. We're big TikTokers, I'm not gonna lie, but that's honestly what brings us closer. Me and Brinkley have always been really close and really good friends, but just being able to be ourselves and dance and have fun
Yeah.
while we're out there playing, I think it makes us play better. We get loosened up and stuff, so we just don't get embarrassed. We just do it.
We're always
Well,
goofing off each other. We play well together in the
Yeah, we
field. When
really
she's
do.
pitching, she's behind me. When I'm pitching, she's
well,
behind
I
me.
can. I can absolutely tell you just absolutely dance better than what Edward was. I mean that Edward was hurting me up there. He about fell out of the chair. I don't
Oh,
know what he was doing with his arms. He was doing something like he looked like a dead chicken or something,
oh
like
no.
flopping on the.
It's called
Edward, are
the
you gonna
boogie.
take that?
It's called
Yeah.
the boogie.
The
You know,
boogie.
us younger folks, Mark, we can still break a move or
Yeah.
bust a move occasionally
Well, you get my age, you
without
go
breaking a
shake.
hip.
Yeah, you shake too much my age, you're gonna bust a hip or something. Yeah, it's not gonna work out. Uh, uh, just thoughts on your season so far.
So far, I mean, we are a very new team and a young team. Just with Brinkley coming over here, we have a bunch of freshmen. I think that if we just keep playing in a couple weeks, we're going to be really good because we're all starting to kind of get together and things are starting to fall into place and just the little quirks that we kind of need to knock out, and then I think we'll be really good.
We have two really good players out right now, and we've been playing really good. But I feel like when they come back, we'll be even better. And we haven't played much as a team, but I feel like yeah, as the season progresses, we will. And we're really young, and we have a really good pitching staff, so I think we'll be okay.
So in the picture, was there anything in particular you was pointing at, or were you just telling Edward to hurry up and get out of there or something?
Oh no, we just asked him what a cool pose would be.
Yeah,
We
we're
didn't
like,
want to look stupid.
how do we not look stupid?
I thought you was like pointing at Edward, like get out of here, get out of here. We got
We got
stuff
a
to
game,
do.
Edward.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
That was probably what was going through their head, but they just didn't want to say it.
But Edward, I'll let you ask him a few.
All right. So, looking at your schedule, now it looks like you've got from the teams that I know over in Tennessee, you've got quite a few teams coming up, and but so give me your thoughts on like your next upcoming games because I know I see later on you will play Harlan County and possibly Knox Central again, but you've got like Granger, Cherokee, Greenville. So give me your thoughts on having to compete against those level teams.
They'll definitely be pretty. They'll be pretty solid teams, but I feel like we play so good together that we will definitely give them a run for their money.
Yeah, I know that, like, just from last year's team, as the season went on, we started beating those teams that we were worried about, like the Granger and Greenville and all those teams in our district that we know are big games. When as the season goes on, we get more comfortable with our team and our bats start working and we play better in the field. We start actually competing with those teams and end up winning a lot of games. So
And you talked about your team. If I'm not mistaken, it's four seniors, I believe, that you have,
yes, sir.
and the rest of them. It looks like the majority of your team is all like I'll call them underclassmen.
Yes, sir. We have, I think we just have one junior, and the rest are all freshmen and sophomores.
Yeah, that was my middle school group in 8th grade, and we played amazing together. We really connected our underclassmen. We went to the championship in the district.
So I got to ask one of Mark's hard hitting questions here. He says that they call him Chief Nakahoma. Do you think that he could hit either one of y'all's fast pitch? I mean,
Maybe.
I watched him firsthand. I don't think he could even see it.
I mean, he could probably hit mine. He probably
I
can't
don't
hit
know.
Vic when she throws gas, but he could probably hit mine.
He could maybe hit my changeup.
I don't think he could hit it if you just walked it up and dropped it for him to hit it.
He could have hit my changeup if I could throw it in the strike zone.
Well, listen, the game I watched, you was getting them in the strike zone quite often.
Thank you.
So I know both of you's pitch and you bat too. So which one do you prefer? Do you prefer like getting some RBIs, home runs, or you prefer just straight up just shutting the door and just striking everybody out?
Hitting definitely gives me my confidence, but personally, I'm more of a shortstop. I love pitching, but I kind of grew out of it a little bit, and I don't do it as much anymore. But probably hitting.
Mine's definitely pitching. My confidence comes from pitching. Like if I go out there and I strike a couple people out, I come in and I'm ready to hit. If I go out there and hit and I don't do good, then I just get down on myself. As far as pitching goes, I'd rather strike people out than get out there and strike out myself. So.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that if y'all either one threw a pitch at me, I'm striking out regardless because I had a hard time seeing it. But now this leads me into my next thing. These two graphs I'm actually getting ready to show you will be shareable, so y'all are more than welcome to share them, friends, family, But after I show both of them, I want to get y'all's thoughts on what you think about them.
Oh, that's really cool.
That is nice.
And that's from the picture that we took and the ones.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't have flexed because look at them guns right there. My goodness.
I had it in my right arm because it's bigger than my left one for pitching.
Well, see, Mark, that's why I told you not to flex.
I'm not flexing no more.
Hey, that's
Ooh,
cute, Brink.
I like those. Those are nice.
Those are really cute, Brink.
I feel like.
Well, I do appreciate that. And like I said, both of them, they will be posted for you all to be able to share.
Okay.
And we got Coach Shack on here now, so we got the man that does all the hard-hitting questions.
Now we're going down to business now.
Hey, I'm coming in on the rear end. You all do. You can go. Yes.
Hey, but I do want to ask you one thing before Shane takes over. Okay. See these?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which one are the best ones to eat?
The dark chocolate.
Milk chocolate.
Dark
I love dark chocolate.
Nobody agrees with caramel.
I like
Caramel.
I say
Do one
caramel.
is like is it caramel or caramel?
I say caramel.
Okay, caramel. Okay. Tell you the one is like caramel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well. Okay.
He always has to ask that question about them candies.
They are good candy bars. I just prefer the dark chocolate one.
So what happened to them? They used to be like that. Now they're like that. So,
Yeah,
so what's
I know.
going on with them?
I have no idea. But I'm upset as you are.
Well, listen, he gets upset over anything that protains the food. So I mean, when you see him, he's eating.
Hey,
Hey,
we'll
that's
get
me
along
and
great
Allie.
then. Yeah,
Me
we
and
eat
Allie
all
always eating.
every day after school. She's like, "Hey, are we gonna get food?" I was like, "I want nothing less than to go get food before practice and throw up everywhere."
Listen, I had to make him take his headset off because he ate like I think it's 14 bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits while we was trying to live stream a game, and he was just munching away.
That's pretty good.
See what I got to deal with all the time. I mean, he's hard to work with. But my next three questions is going to kind of be for both of you to answer. So I know back when I played and everything, I always have one game I'd always highlight that I was wanting to play that team the most. So which team are you all looking forward to playing the most?
Well, it would be the Gap, but unfortunately, we don't get to play them this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably say I think Granger. I like playing them a lot, and Knox Central's a pretty good game for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Granger game for sure. When we play them again, I think that's gonna be a really good game. It's one I'm looking forward to and getting excited about. And the Greenville game's always a big game for me because we played them last year and we lost once and won once, and then they ended up putting us out of the tournament last year. So I would just love to come back and make that a different game.
And now, what would be considered y'all? This can be from 7th, 8th grade all the way up till now. What has been your most favorite game that you have been able to take a part in playing in?
I would say probably when we played Alcoa last year. They were really good, and I turned a great double play, and just that play is like stuck in my head.
I'd probably say whenever I used to play travel ball, my coach that I played with, she actually passed away from cancer. So just being out there and playing, just knowing, I always think about her. But the game was tied, and I was on third, and I was going home, and I ended up plowing over the catcher, and she dropped the ball, and so we ended up winning. I was safe, and they've called me Bulldozer ever since then. Like for like 5 or 6 years, they call me that, and that's just one play I'll never forget. Just having the memories with her and that team.
And now my final question: who would you consider being the best player? It can be a teammate, an opponent that you have played either with or against.
Like this year or in?
It can be through anything: travel ball, high school ball, 7th, 8th grade. Yeah, I mean,
I had a friend last year that was really good. She actually didn't go play college ball, but she always was a really good asset. Like she just wanted to be there. Her name was Hannah Fugit, and she was our center fielder. And I do not remember her very rarely ever missing a fly ball in the outfield. And she always her hitting average was really really good last year. I don't remember what it was, but just seeing her go out there and just execute, and like you always could rely on her to hit the ball or to catch the ball in the outfield. I never had a doubt in my mind that she was going to get up there and do what she was told.
I would say probably my brother. He was such an amazing shortstop, and he was who taught me how to play, and he was just so good. I enjoyed watching him so much.
well, Mark or Shane, y'all got anything?
You lost me when you started talking bad about dark chocolate. You lost me. If it ain't dark chocolate in this house, we ain't talking about it.
Hey, dark chocolate is my favorite.
That's all I got to say about that.
Well, Shane is pulling double duty today. He just got done doing his show, a really, really good show, and Shane covers about a little bit of everything. Really good show tonight, but the cold coffee, I thought you was always a hot coffee drinker, Shane.
Hey, cold brew ain't bad, man. I'm telling you. I mean, I'm trying to broaden my horizons here a little bit. So, cold brew wasn't bad. I mean, it's an espresso roast. It was nice. You go to McDonald's, iced coffee will take you places.
Are you in a coffee shop, or is that like your wallpaper? What is
No,
that?
that's actually my backdrop for my show. name is called Local Sports Coffee Shop.
I don't have my contacts and I can't see.
Yeah, it comes on 7 on Wednesday nights, and yeah, you should go watch
Wednesday
it.
nights at 7 p.m.
Sure.
Really good coverage on a little bit of everything. It's up to what kind of subject you'll get on, but just absolutely love that show. Uh, um, so are you hot coffee drinkers or cold coffee drinkers?
Cold.
Cold, yeah.
We actually iced coffee from McDonald's all the time together.
Yeah, we do.
We really are never not together. I will be honest with
No.
you.
I don't really have that, but just thank you for coming on. You've been great guests, and you'd absolutely dance a whole lot more better than Edward. So maybe next time you are in town, sort of teach Edward, a little bit of moves before he goes dancing around public again.
We'll try our best.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Best of luck the rest of the season. I do appreciate you taking the time to come on and talk to us and try to educate Mark a little bit.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. All right. That was a great interview. And speaking of great interviews, that leads us right into the next one here. How you doing, Cade?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. First thing right out the gate, I got to ask you, looking at, the two games you've played, y'all ain't backing down from nobody. I mean, y'all are playing the best in the state.
Yes, sir. We like to challenge ourselves at all times, and just take one game at a time, and see how our game matches up with everybody else's.
Well, right now, I'd have to say your game it matches better than everybody else's because I mean, that's some hard knock games that you've played against. I mean, you beat GRC, Great Crossing, and the kicker is you played them at their place.
Yes, sir. We're playing good ball right now.
So before I let Mark take over, I got a little stat graph I pulled up, and if I ain't mistaken, this goes all the way back to your 8th grade from everything that I put into this. But from everything that I added up through 8th grade all the way up till right now, your junior year, you're batting at a .504. You've got a total of 105 RBIs, 18 stolen bases, 106 game hitters, 15 home runs, and 144 hits. So I just got to get your thoughts on how do you perform on that level game in and game out?
It's not all me, I got coaches and my teammates. They play a huge role in that, and I just try to push myself to be my best and see what happens. You got to have confidence when you walk up to the plate or in the field, and I believe if you have confidence, then there's nothing to worry about. What's the worst that can happen? Just go out there and play.
Mark, before I asked all the questions.
Kate, I know it's still early in the season, but two really, really impressive wins. And first off, thank you for coming on for sure. Got that thing called a school night too, so hopefully we won't keep you on there. But I know it's early in the season, but what was the thoughts? You going into this year. I mean, returning the player that you under that return. I mean, do you feel was it a good feel?
Yes, sir, definitely. We want to get back to the top where we were a couple years ago, and that's winning the region and hopefully making a run at the state championship. And I think we have the team to do it if we keep on playing and come together. And I think we got off to a great start.
Could you tell us a little bit about sorry about that. Can you tell us a little bit about Coach Philpott and what he's brought to the table for you?
Oh, he's everything. He's huge. He comes in every day with a great practice plan or whatever we need to do for the day to get better. And I think we get better every day, and he's a huge part of that. So he does a lot for the team, and we couldn't do it without him.
I know there's been a lot of weather, a lot of rain, a lot of this and that, and a lot of you play several sports. You for one, and you're really good at other sports also. But have you been able to get a lot of practice together as a whole unit?
We've got a lot of practices in, but the weird thing about us is we haven't got to practice on our field. Today was the first time we got to practice on our field. We've been practicing on our football field every day, but I mean it's not really much different. Turf's turf, and just seeing ground balls and seeing fly balls and communication and stuff like that. That's really what matters, and I think we've got a lot better from being able to use the football field.
The turf there at Corbin really soaks the water really, really good. So, I mean, the weather didn't affect any of the practices for you.
No, not really, and we call it the Hack Shack. It's an indoor facility out
Yeah.
in left field that we can use anytime it rains. So our school does a good job at providing us with facilities to use when no matter what the weather is.
Kate, I can't let you go without asking you this, but which one do you like? It's a conversation. Did you like the?
I try to stay off the chocolate, but uh,
If you had to sneak one,
probably the caramel one.
yes, 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 yes.
Now,
thank,
now he's not going to be able to fit through the door because you just helped his head go up, Kate.
thank you, Kate. Thank you, Shane.
Kate, I've kind of followed your career through the years. I'm down at Pineville now and helping coach. I'm gonna throw a name at you. I want you to give me your best memory of him. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Bobby Daniels. Give me a good Bobby D
Oh,
story.
Bobby D. There's too many. He's like family to me and my family. So I mean, I look at him as like another sibling. He's done a lot for me, and I'm thankful to have him in my life.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He really is. He talks a lot about you. A lot of great memories he shared with me, stuff on them bus trips and stuff. But okay, you had a great career. You're a Louisville commit, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here's my thing. When you go, is there a position that you're looking to play, or are you just going to go do whatever they want you to do? What you got kind of a plan going in your mind?
Yes, sir. I'm going there to play shortstop, and if not shortstop, somewhere in the infield. I feel like that's what makes me like able to play because I can play any position. But right now, I'm going there to play
Right,
shortstop and hopefully just help the team win any way possible.
right. And Louisville's an excellent baseball program too, and they're getting a stellar kid in you, no question about it. It seems that they're kind of recruiting in our region with you going, and then with Brandon Crawford from Clay County going. Are you and Brandon kind of familiar with each other?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't wait to play with him. He's a great player. Played against him my whole career. It'll be fun to team up with him at the next level for sure.
Good deal. Good deal. My last question is simple. What does Corbin High School have to do to win the 13th region?
I think we just got to come together as one team. I think we got the talent to do it. We got the coaches to do it. I think we're set up pretty nice. We gotta play the game the right way and just look at each
Right.
game one game at a time.
Edward.
So I got to get your thoughts again here. If I ain't mistaken, I think it's March the 31st through April the 5th. You all will be at Fort Walton Beach in Florida, and there's teams out of Tennessee going to be there, teams out of Florida going to be there. Have you all looked that far ahead, or are you all just taking it like one game at a time?
we try to take it one game at a time. But if I said that we didn't look ahead at our schedule, I'd be lying. So we know we're going down there to play great competition, and that's what we do it for. We like to play the best, and see how our game matches up with everybody else's.
So I've got to ask you, when you're up there, how hard is it to stay focused on the game with you having all that around you that you can do? Is it complicated, or is it that much easier to stay focused?
For me, I mean, I don't think it's that hard because I'm the way I look at it is I'm going down there to play baseball first. So you got to look at it as like a business trip, really, and just go down there and try to win as many games as possible.
Yep.
I mean, I have to agree, and that's well said. But I'm gonna have to ask you, because this is one of my favorite questions to ask. You know, and I'm sure you've looked at your schedule. Is there a certain game that you have highlighted that you're looking forward to playing more than the rest on there?
Hopefully the region championship. Getting there and hopefully winning that for our school and for our city to get back on top. That's what we all want. It's what we've been working for a long time.
So I know that you play, both sides. You hit. I've seen you pitch. I've seen you play, infield, shortstop, stuff like that. Which position do you like the most? Do you like, being on the defensive side and trying to strike somebody out, catching a fly ball, or you prefer knocking one over the fences?
I just like doing whatever helps my team win, and if that's pitching, hitting, whatever, just doing whatever I can to help the team win. And if we get the win, that's all that matters.
All right, that's a great answer. But Mark, you got anything else?
Kate, unless somebody just been tuning off everything other than just baseball and softball, there ain't nobody around here knows that you're really, really good at other sports and you're one of the state's best, if not, one of the country's best. I mean, going to the next level after high school, are there any thoughts maybe two sport deal, or is it strictly going to be baseball?
I'm focused on baseball right now, but I mean, I've talked to people about playing multiple sports, but I know one thing's for sure is I'm going to be playing baseball at the University of Louisville. So whatever comes from that comes from that. But I want to do whatever I can to go to Louisville and help that team win and hopefully get back to the College World Series.
Of course, Shane spoke about Brandon also committing to Louisville. Are you like calling each other, hey, every day, or is it just strictly you and Corbin at this point, and then it'd be you and Brandon Louisville after the baseball season?
Brandon's one of my good friends, so we talk every once in a while about going and playing at the next level, and I can't wait to do that. But right now, my focus is on winning games for the Corbin Redhounds. So,
that's a good answer, Shane.
Kate, I don't have no more questions for you. I wish you the best, man. I'm always about our kids in the region going and performing, and it seems like we're getting kids in big time positions with you going to Louisville, with Brandon going to Louisville, Reed at Kentucky, Travis at Kentucky. I mean, Kentucky kids are going and doing Kentucky proud at the highest levels, and I just wish you the best, man. And you ever get a chance to come down to Pineville, me and Bobby D go to McDonald's, get a cheeseburger. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he had to offer
now,
me that cheeseburger.
Shane's got Mark. Mark, you've even got Shane talking about food now.
But he has pulled double duty tonight. He's probably worked up a little bit of an appetite.
Lord.
Well, I mean, that's true. But, Kate, I got to ask you, I know you've played a lot of different sports. Transitioning from playing those sports, jumping straight to another one, how hard is it to get yourself readjusted for that next sport you was going to?
in past years it's been really tough, but this year with me taking basketball off and not doing that, it's helped me a lot with weight training and speed training and just getting my mind right for the baseball season because uh, ultimately that's what I'm gonna be doing with my career going forward. So I think it was important for me to take time off of basketball and focus on baseball. So it's been a lot easier this year for sure.
So, baseball is something that I'm slowly learning through these last couple of years of being a covering it. But, during like the off seasons and stuff, what all do you have to do to be able to keep yourself in, shape, in form to where basically you don't miss a step when you come back?
Yeah, baseball is I think it's the hardest sport in the world. So you can't just take 3 4 months off of swinging a bat and come back and do it at a high level. You gotta stay practicing
Right.
all year round and throwing and keeping your arm in shape. So it's tough, but it's something you
Yep.
got to do if you want to play the game.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
Cade, you say that sort of reminds me of a comment of Deion Sanders' prime time. They asked him about why he thought was the hardest sport. He said it's hard to hit that baseball.
Yes, sir.
I mean, most of them at the level that we're seeing, I can't even see the baseball most of the time. So that leads me into my next question is through the time that you've played, who has probably been like the best pitcher or best player that you have played against?
Oh, there's been a bunch. Throughout my career, I've played against a lot of good pitchers. I've seen my 8th grade year, seen Kate Grundy, who's at Louisville now, and I've seen Brandon, who's going to Louisville, and last year we've seen a couple guys going to UK. So it's hard to it's hard to say which one is the best, but I know I've played against a lot of good competition while I've been at Corbin and during the summer. So I think that's what we pride ourselves on is playing good competition, and we're going to keep doing it.
So that part leads me into my next one. Talking about the good competition, seeing that next level, pitcher, that next level athlete, how does that help you tune your own game?
Oh, it's always a challenge. You're always trying to get better and seeing seeing guys throwing that hard and with that kind of off speed. It's such it's such a good challenge for me and my teammates. To get better and get ready for district and region play.
So talking about the teams and stuff like that, what would you consider the best game that you've actually played in, or your most favorite game that you've played in?
Oh, that's tough. Uh, my 8th grade year, we played against Whitley in the district championship. It was pretty cool. Like I hit a home run to go up in the 7th inning. So that's probably one of my favorite memories of all time is just being the little 8th grader and making a big play like that to help my team win.
Oh, Mark, you got anything else?
Okay, I gotta ask you this. It's hard not to know this, but you talked about a little bit of training. Not playing basketball. Hey, it's hard not to notice the guns going on there. Have you put on some weight and stuff on this off season?
I've actually since football season I've lost. I've been focusing on cutting fat and building muscle. So I've lost some weight, but my body feels good, ready to play this season and hopefully get our team back on top.
So, like again, it's hard not to notice the arm there. So, all your teammates, if everybody has had like an arm wrestling competition, who'd win?
Oh, I don't know. We got a lot of strong guys. It'd be tough to tell. We probably don't need to do that though. We don't need no injuries during the season.
Yeah, that'd be a hard one to explain. Yeah, you're right. But Kate, thank you for coming on. Thank you for the time also, and cannot wait to see what the future holds for you and the Corver Red Hounds.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And Cade, before we let you go, I got one final graph to show you. that I will post right after the show, and it is shareable. But I just kind of want to get your thoughts on it.
That's cool. That's sweet. Thank you all for what you do.
Well, I do appreciate you, coming on, giving us the time to talk to you and get to see how your season's going. But best of luck the remaining part of your season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I'm sure Shane would agree. Once you go to the next step, if you got any free tickets or any extra tickets, you could slide them our way if you want to.
Yes, sir.
But Caden, I do appreciate you and looking forward to getting to cover you real soon down there.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
And thank you. What can you say? That's another stellar interview we just had. But Shane, I actually heard you talking about this feller. This great guy just a little while ago on your show, and I actually kind of made him a little something that I'm gonna show on here, and I just want to kind of get your thoughts on him here.
I got you. He'll cherish it.
Daniel,
I know him. He'll cherish it. He will. He will. Listen, I'll be honest with you. You know, it's like I said on my show. When you think about and you break it down into teams, right? Certain schools have certain guys and gals that identify with a specific program. They do. They do. Somebody you can say, yeah, they are loyal to the program. There's nobody at Pineville no more loyal than Robert Daniels. And
I agree.
he has given himself across so many levels. From middle school, he gives his time, he gives his efforts, he coaches every one of those kids like he would if it was his kid playing. And to see him be successful, it made my day. It really did. Um, he's a really good coach, and I think people are going to see it now. People kind of knew, with JV and things like that, but when you step up to a high school level and your name's on the program, it don't matter basketball, football, baseball, track, softball, whatever, and you win at that level, it means something. And he's going to do a phenomenal job. You watch and see. You mark my words. Pine will be in the thick of the race for the 13th region. I'm not saying they're the best in the region. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying those kids will perform for him, and they will play hard for him. So, I'm tickled to death for him.
I have to agree with everything you said. Because I seen that again firsthand. Yesterday when they played and pulled out the win, and I seen how. Which he might put me in a headlock here in a minute for saying this, but I've seen how emotional he got getting that win, and it wasn't that it was his first win that he got emotional about. It was that his team got the win. The way that they reacted, the way that everybody rejoiced, and the one thing I can truly say about Bobby D is when it comes to Pineville, he eats, sleeps, and breathes Pineville. That's the easiest way I can put it.
He does.
And I think Mark's fell asleep on us over there. I don't know what he's doing.
No, I was listening to Bopians, for sure knows Bobby D much better than I do. I've learned, I'm not learned, but I've got to know him and got to love him, and he's like he just like coffee. Once you take a drink of good coffee, you just automatically love it. You can't get enough of it, and absolutely love what he's doing. Shane and Edward, would you agree with this? Pavel's talented. We know the talent's there at that softball team. They got one of the best pitchers in the region. They've got good hitting. The talent's there. But then you get somebody just like what you were saying, Shane, a team that's wanting to win for this coach, that's wanting to put. Sometimes sports ain't all about talent. You've got to have that want, that heart. You got to have all of that, and maybe that is just sort of like what you're just saying puts it all together, just like you said, Shane. And
Right.
I think Pablo can make a serious run now.
Bobby D, the glue of that outfit. You know what I'm saying? He's the one guy on the staff that all the kids will identify with, and he will get the most he can. He'll squeeze every drop of effort that he and he'll coach them the same way like he did at Millsboro, at Clay County, at Berea, at Camp, at Barberville, and on and on and on. His intensity, his effort will always be there, and he will demand that his team matches that effort. And I think that's a great thing. I really do. That's talent, and I'm gonna tell you something. And I'm the yeah, I am. But for what that school has at the high school level, across the board, best athletes around, guys. They do. And we're a small school, all year long. It started in football to basketball. Now we're in baseball. Now we're in softball. We're playing people and teams out there, and it's only going to make the pro high level to the level of the number one team in the state. Oh, but a lot of people ain't. But our kids to them at all levels, at all sports, that you just because you're at a small school doesn't mean when you play football it's 11 on 11. When you play basketball it's 5 on 5. If you play softball it's 9 on 9. I mean, ever how you want to cut it. Humble kids, we're trying to put in that mindset that we can go compete, we can go win. And I think it has to go first. We have to get them in, and once we get them there and get them used to competing, we got to get them to the next spot, and that's win. You know, that's the next step in the progression for Pineville. We're trying to get to that next step, to that next level, and I think everybody does that. I really do. Even at 5A, Corbin at 4A. I mean Knox at 4A. The bigger Whitley at 5A. They're at that point. At the point of competing. Now they're taking the next win big. Harlan County. They're you got to get to that next progression. So we're on a good track down there. I really do. We got great head coach guys and gals that know the sport, and we got great coaches around our kids. So I right Pineville.
Well, it really is realistic, Shay. I'm not just trying to just say this, but I'll be honest. South Florida was sort of my favorite to win region.
Right.
Pavel, for all purposes, was in that game when they
They
played.
were.
They was in that game,
Right.
and and just as well as me, sometimes it just takes this one little thing to push that over the
Get it over the
edge.
top. Get it over the
And,
top. Yep.
and that Bobby D, I'm not going to say one little thing.
He
That's
may
one
be
big
it.
thing. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely, that could just send that team to. And Pavel. sports and area sports way better than I do, Shane. I mean, how long has it been since Pommel's won the 13th, or has it been done? I mean, is this something
Not that
that
I'm aware of.
Bobby D? Is this something Bobby D can bust the door open on?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know when they have uh, won a regional title. I know last year regional tournament and stuff and won a district. And I think in any environment, the first step to win district, and
Yeah,
winning a district gives them the confidence to move forward, and going forward, they can win their district again. And I was there for the South Laurel game, and I don't want to discredit their pitcher, Kenzie Williams. She threw a gem. It was
yeah,
an absolute gem of a ball game.
yeah,
She did. She was as dominant as you would ever want to see, but Rachel Howard was too. And they between them, I think they had 37 strikeouts between them
yeah.
in that ball game. So it was an old-fashioned rareback pitcher's duel. You know, and South Florida broke through with a couple of runs here and there, and that was it on ball games. And that's the same thing that happened last night at Millsboro. Edward was there. You see in big games, if your pitching and defense will keep you in a ball game, no, more than likely will get the big time hit. You'll get the big hit to get a run or two, and that's what Pineville did. And their bats were hot. They'll make some plays defensively. Ball game to help that win. They made several plays in the field. I don't think they had an error that I know of. And team. That could be the All A final. It could very well be the All A final. Pineville Millsboro to get to the state tournament. So, I mean, I do not want to discredit them either. Kenna Lawson threw a heck of a ball game. Candy Oakham and Reagan Moyers had big hits, put the ball in play, and it's just one of them games where it makes a difference, and it did. So again, I mean, it's almost a deal. If you overlook a Class A team in the 13th, you're doing it at your own peril, because there are some kids that can play, and I think that our region is like that, man. I mean, across the board. I mean, you go about anywhere, you can find talent. You can find kids,
Yeah,
boys and girls, that can play.
it seems like on every team there's solid pitching. It just seems like it's solid
Right.
pitching on every team.
Well, it's like I said there in my show. You have to be, to me, in baseball. And Walt Overbay, a guy that was here for years, Millsboro Little League, one of the best coaches of anything that I've ever been around. I went to some ball games, not to coach. I just went to watch him and learn and listen. And Danny Vaughn reminded me of it, and I said on my show, you have to be really good up the middle to be successful at baseball and softball same way. Catcher, pitcher, second, short, center field. If you are good up the middle, you can find ways to win ball games. And both teams last night were good up the middle, and it showed. And then against South Laurel, both teams were good up the middle, and it showed. And I mean, to me, if you got a combo of Rachel Howard pitching and Addison Sloan catching, that's as good a battery as you got in the 13th. That's just an opinion.
I would
I
agree.
mean, Kenzie Williams and the catcher at South, good. Millsboro's Kenna Lawson and I can't remember who was catching, but their battery, good. If you are a good pitcher catcher, you can fill in the pieces. You got the chance to be a really good team.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I agree with everything you said. But the thing for a team to be able to make those deep runs like what Mark was talking about is not only coaching, it's confidence.
It is.
because you can see a lot of teams that all of a sudden when they lose faith in themselves, lose that confidence, they could be the better team out there or whatever, however people like to classify it. And this other team could have the confidence that they can compete with anybody and everybody, and
Right.
you're going to see that out of that team.
Yep.
And
Yep. I agree.
that comes from the
You know,
coaches level.
we always, it does. It comes from the top down. Absolutely, Edward. I agree 100%. You know, I know in boys basketball, I can only speak for what I coach. You know, Coach Levy and I and Coach Gentry and Bobby D and Coach Moser, we all talked about before you can build talent, you have to build mindset. You have to create a culture that has the expectation to compete and be successful. I'm not saying just compete, the expectation to win. Everybody has that. I mean, you don't play anything just to hope to win. The ideal, if us three play, a basketball game, one of us, all three want to win. That's obvious. But the culture to foster and develop the ideal that no matter who we play against, we have the chance to be successful and win. That's where you're at. And I think that, if you can build a culture around your program that allows you to go and compete, and to go and say, you know what, it don't matter how big your school is. It doesn't matter how many kids you got walking the hallways. You can only put 5 on the court at a time. You can put 9 on the field at a time or 11 on the field, whatever you're playing against. If you believe in yourself and your culture develops you to have the mind, that's why teams like Corbin and that's why teams like Whitley County in baseball, or South Laurel in basketball is a good example. Their culture dictates success to me. And, when they go to play somewhere, it doesn't matter if they're going to a small school or a big school. You never know the difference because their mindset never changes. Their mindset is to go be successful. And if they do the things that they have to do to be successful, more than likely it leads to wins. A lot of people want to say, I want to win, but what did you do to prepare to win? Bobby Knight, say what you want, had the greatest quote of all. He said, everybody has the will to win, but who has the will to prepare to win? And you have to have that. You have to have the will to prepare. It's just like Kate Elam was talking about, putting the time weight training, putting the time speed training, putting the time in the batting cage. I mean, you got to have it. I mean, if you want to win and win at the high levels, it don't just happen by just saying, I want to win. I want to win, but what did you do to prepare to win?
I mean, I agree. I mean, it's you look. Everybody does want to win, but you have to put the work in.
You do.
And you can see the separation between the ones that has the will to win and the ones that's putting in the work to win.
You can. Absolutely. And that's the beauty of coaching, when you can get kids to value the work, to value practice, to value weight training, to value speed training, to value, eating right. I mean, there's so many variables to this. And again, when we were all in school, diet wasn't a part of anything. I mean, seriously, when you went for a ball game, you went to McDonald's, got a Big Mac and fries, got on the bus, and went to play a ball game. If you was lucky. Now, I mean, you got kids that's bringing in their salads, that's bringing in their protein drinks, that's bringing in, the things they add to water, for mass, for protein, for energy, whatever, It's a different ball game now, man. And the kids that are doing that kind of stuff and doing weight training and doing the speed training and doing their skill training, They separate. It's cream and milk. You know how they always say cream rises to the top. The cream rises to the top in any sport by the effort that you put into it.
Reminds me of
Ah, man, that's well said.
Reminds me of an article I read about Sacred Heart. It was last year. I'm sure they did it again this year, but last year, after they had won the state tournament, the next following day they was back to practice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you look at Sacred Heart, and a lot of people are upset. I've heard it, watched it online where they talk about, oh, they're a private school. Oh, they've won 4 straight state titles. But you know what? If I'm a coach at girls basketball, and you know, I know LG and Debbie Green, known them for years. I know the kind of program they build. They're not feeling sorry for themselves and saying, oh, they're just different. You know, they're doing, you know, and it's like I was saying, if you don't like it, do something about it.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody, I'm not, but it's the thing about it is, if you want to be that successful, they're not just getting on a bus and saying, okay, guys, here we are. We're the state champions. Everybody, they ain't doing it. They're putting the work in I guarantee you they've had practice already this week.
Yeah.
Because that's what teams like that do. They don't know another way. Their culture dictates that. Culture dictates work. Their culture dictates effort. Their culture dictates sacrifice. You get those things, the byproduct is winning. Winning is a byproduct. Winning is not the result. Winning is a byproduct. Success is the result.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, I agree 100%. You have valid points on all of it, but you know, success, winning, all that starts from a very young age, getting
It is.
coached up and getting, again, the word I
Oh,
like
man.
saying a lot, getting that confidence.
Yeah. Well, you're sitting right there on top of it. Bell County football is a perfect example of system from kid to high school. They put their kids, it don't matter. You're going through their system, you're going through their training. And when they get to the high school level, it's just a byproduct of everything they did at the elementary level, all the way down to kindergarten and, you know, pee wee ball. Byproduct. It is. And that's their winning is a byproduct. Daniel Thomas didn't win Mr. Football just by showing up his freshman year and say, okay, give me the football, I'm gonna run with it. No. Daniel Thomas has worked for it every single day. You know, here's the thing. The amazing stat to me is not just the fact he's Mr. Football, which he very well earned. The kid carried the ball 400 times this year. 400. And I
Yes.
mean, getting 6-7 yards of carry. You tell me that didn't deserve Mr. Football all day long. But here's the thing: he does the other stuff. You know, he does the other stuff. He does the weightlifting. He does the speed training. He does the skill training. You know what I mean? Great athletes don't just show up. They don't.
When you
Every
were
great
talking about
athlete, you know.
when you were talking about Bell County, it clicked on me. You know, I was at the game, and let's be honest. Other than this area, there was nobody giving Bell County a shot, especially after what Louisville Christian Academy did to Lexington Catholic in the semifinals. Just absolutely annihilated them.
Right.
Nobody was giving Bell County a shot. I mean, I was at that game, and during that whole first quarter when Bell held the ball, you could actually see the Christian players. They was like they didn't have a
Right.
clue. I mean, they knew what was going to happen. They just couldn't stop it. And to a point, you sort of had to like that to a point. I mean, And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
again going back to what you were saying. It's from hard work. It's about we're going to put the work in the weight room. We're going to do what we need to do to be successful, and we're going to come at you. We're going to old fashioned smash mouth. We're going to run it right
right,
down your throat. And for most parts, and again, Bell was heavy underdogs. One sketchy
right,
fumble. I'm not going to go into that. But for most
right.
part, Bell was right in that game the whole time, and nobody other
They
than
were.
this area was giving Bell a shot.
Well, that's you're exactly right, and you know it wouldn't have mattered if they played CAL, if they played Louisville, if they played Kentucky or whoever.
Yeah,
Dudley Hilton is going to run game and say, "Here it comes, stop it,"
yeah,
and that goes back to a mindset that is cultivated from high school, middle school, elementary, pee wee ball. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. His kids believe in their system, they believe in their training, and they believe in their coaches. If you've got all that, you got belief, man. You've got 90% of the battle if you can believe you can win. I, I'm a I would go. I'd go out the door and holler it off the porch. If you believe you can win, that's a lot of the battle right there. Bell County went in believing they weren't going up there just to hang out, and I love Dudley. I love Dudley. He poured him out to all boys. It'd be everything we can do, stay in the game, stuff like that. I know him. I know he was in the huddle. I know he was in the locker room. Boys, we're going to win. And it don't matter who else believes it or not. We're going to win. And again, mindset, culture, mindset. Those things are crucial, man, to building successful programs. And they're in every program, I promise you. Baseball, basketball, football, softball, track, whatever. The great teams year after year after year. And I'm not saying year after year. Boyle County is an anomaly. I mean, what they're doing up there, Justin Haddocks is, what they're building, what they built, But, again, I would say it to him. I guarantee their culture is to be successful day after day. Because if you win that, Chip Kelly at Oregon, win today, doesn't matter what the win or loss is on the scoreboard. Did you win that day? And I'm reading the book, Urban Meyer's book, Live Above the Line, or Above the Line, and it's about culture, it's about mindset, it's about giving your best every day to be successful. If you do that, wins and losses take care of themselves. That's just a byproduct.
could I say, before there was a Bull County, before there was a Belfry, and, Bell's still successful right now, but
Mm-hmm.
before Bull, before Belfry, there was a Bell County. And I believe in the
Mm-hmm.
'90s, Bell County was the
Yep.
only part of five teams in the state of Kentucky that had over 100 victories, and Bell County was
Right.
like when you talk Bell County football, you talk, you put them in sentences with Covington Catholic, Fort Thomas Highlands. I mean, these
Right.
was big time state rival games back
Right.
in that day. And that's not
Well, you're
taking nothing
right.
away from Bell County. Now they're still good, but there
Yep.
was Bell County before there was Belfry, Johnson
Right.
Central, on and on.
Right. Well, I agree with you. I can remember in '93, I think maybe, or '92 or '93, the year that Marty Moore and Fort Thomas Highlands come to Bell and played on Thanksgiving night,
Yep.
the Friday after Thanksgiving. Colder than all get out. Cold night up on the hill. And I can never forget that. What a ball game that was. So it started around, they won state title in '91, the year after I graduated at Harlan. That team won state title, and they were winning before that. And you're right, they've been winning after that. Two state titles, always in the state playoff picture at some point. Yeah, at some point you got to beat Bell. If you're going to win 3A, if you're going to win, if they're in 4A, wherever they're in, you're going to beat Bell County to win a state title. This is kind of what happens. And there's years they don't win a state title, but they're there because their culture and their mindset dictates If we're successful at what we do, the results will happen.
Yep.
I mean, I have to agree 100%. You know, your culture is based off from what you want it basically, and how much you want it.
Absolutely.
But you know, on that note, you know, fellas, I'm gonna get y'all's final thoughts, and we're gonna go into closing here.
Um,
Mark, I'll
I,
start with you.
I just want to thank you for allowing me on tonight, Edward, and I also want to give a big shout out to Shane pulling double duty tonight. And I will have to, Shane, I love you, but I'm going to have to get you back into the hot coffee mode. But
Now
Shane,
there ain't nothing wrong with a little different. I'm telling you, doing the same thing over and over. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You know what I mean?
Well, see, that's the thing. Mark don't
Thank
expect a
you.
different result out of his coffee.
Well, he's not. He's got to broaden his horizons right now. He's really narrow minded. We got to get him out here a little bit.
but Shay, a big thank you for coming on. I know you pulled double duty, and cannot say enough good
That's all
about
right, man.
you and all the help that you've give us. And I got to give one more shout out. All the love to Bobby D, and just wish him the very best. And I can also say I believe I can call him a friend now, and I've got to know him, and you just gotta love that feller. You just really have to be a fan of him and Pineville now. You just want to see them succeed.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And listen, once Bobby D's your friend, he's your friend. He's your
Yep.
friend online. He'll be your friend in public. He'll be your friend if it's you and him standing for the president. He's got you.
Yep.
And I respect that about him too, because he's the same every day, and I respect that. So, guys, thank you for having me. I had a great time talking, and I love talking sports. I probably have went way over your allotted time, and if I did, I apologize. But once I get on a soapbox, I got to go.
Hey, listen, we have no time. We could talk sports all night. Shane, I do want to thank you for coming on. Mark, I want to thank you for coming on, and again, the guests we had on. I want to thank
Yeah.
them that they was great interviews, and loved every second getting to talk to them. But from everybody here at the Bryant's Family All Sports Media, I just want to tell you all good night and God bless.